Good morning, Grade 7, and welcome to WorksheetCloud, Grade 7 Natural Sciences. Most of you know the drill by now, I hope. If you are visiting us for the first time, I hope you enjoy the lessons that we prepare for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email grade7@worksheetcloud.com. Let's get started. So today's lesson is just an introduction to the periodic table. My name is Mrs. Hall, and we will be covering the following. We are going to look at atomic numbers, symbols, atomic weights, elements, groups, and periods. But before I start, grade 7s, I just want to point out to you that every day there's a new lesson with new content, and some of it might be overwhelming for you because you're learning so much in a short period of time. If you were at school right now, if your teacher was going to introduce the periodic table to you, she would give you the lesson, but then you would have 2 or 3 lessons where you just consolidated what you'd been taught. Now, you're not getting that opportunity on WorksheetCloud, and we are moving through the curriculum at a lovely pace, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed by the content. I need you to remember that you can always go back and watch these videos again. And if there's something you don't understand, just by going back and watching the videos again, you might think, that's an aha moment. Okay, now I get it. So I want to tell you, grade 7s, baby steps. Remember, this is the start of high school, so the content is not content you've learned before. This is all new knowledge. Sometimes I might go back and recap grade 6 knowledge, but generally it's all new for you. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to start off. To understand the periodic table, you have to understand atoms. Now, I know you've learned about atoms and you know what atoms are, but let's just take a look. Okay, so atoms are the smallest complete unit of matter. You know this, okay? Atoms are microscopic. The atomic theory says it is the theory of what atoms are. It is considered a theory because it is an explanation based upon facts. So that is the atomic theory. The atomic theory has 3 main ideas. Number 1, all matter is made up of atoms. Atoms cannot be divided. They are indivisible. And that compounds are formed by 2 or more different atoms. You need to remember the word compound. We have spoken about it in previous lessons, but we are going to come back to it within the lesson of the periodic table. So compounds are formed by 2 or more atoms. The atomic structure is as follows. Okay, now in grade 6 you did electricity, and you would have learned about the atomic structure and how the atom is made up with its protons, its neutrons, and its electrons. Now, just to recap and go back so that you can go forward with the periodic table, I've given you a little bit of a recap on the atomic structure. So, atoms are composed of even smaller particles, and if you look over here, you are going to see the nucleus over here is the center of the atom, and it contains 2 what we call subatomic particles. So that's a new term for you, grade 7s. The first subatomic particle is the proton, okay, which has a positive charge, okay, and it's in the nucleus of the atom. The second one is a neutron. It has no charge, it is neutral, and it is also found in the nucleus of an atom. So now this will all be coming back to you. Positive charges, negative charges, all part of your electricity topic that you did in grade 6. Then we have the electrons. These are the negative charges, and they are found outside of the nucleus, and like I said, they are negatively charged. So we have our atom. In the center, we have our nucleus with our protons and our neutrons, and on the outside of the atom, we have our electrons. Okay, I hope that's all sunk in. The nucleus contains almost all of the mass of the atom. So the protons and the neutrons is where the mass is, okay? And then the electrons take up almost all of the space in an atom on the outside. Okay, the nucleus has the mass, the electrons take up all the space on the outside of the atom. Right, why can you never trust an atom? Do you know the answer? Let's take a look. Because they make up everything. Pretty corny, hey, grade 7s? But you're getting used to my corny jokes by now. Atoms are important to us. They matter. Another corny joke. Atoms, on the serious side now though, help scientists to make new substances, new medicines, new materials, and so much more. And that is where the periodic table becomes important to us, grade 7, because all the atoms in the periodic table, the elements in their purest form, make up all the new substances that we use in our everyday lives. What is the periodic table? As I said, it shows all the known elements in the universe, and it organizes the elements by their chemical properties. So what are elements? We've done this lesson already. You know what an element is. You knew that was coming. An element is a substance which is composed of a single kind of atom. So an element is a pure substance. It cannot be broken down into another substance by chemical or physical means. And we chatted about chemical changes and physical changes. So you understand that as well. Okay, so an element is a substance in its purest form, and it is composed of a single kind of atom. Okay. The periodic table is a way that scientists organize all of the elements, in other words, all of the different types of atoms present on Earth. So every single pure substance we find on Earth is an element and is organized by scientists in the periodic table. They are organized by their atomic number, and the atomic number is the number of protons in the nucleus. Don't get stressed. Deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. It's a lot of new information to take in, but we're going slowly. Right. A scientist named Dmitri Mendeleev created the periodic table in 1869. He even left space for the elements that haven't even been discovered yet. How clever is that? Clever man. Important facts to remember about the periodic table, grade 7s. There are over 100 elements listed in the periodic table. Most of the elements are metals, and only about 20 of the elements are non-metals. The periodic table lists only elements and not compounds or mixtures. So it only lists substances in their absolute purest form. You should, in grade 7, learn the symbols of the first 20 elements in the periodic table. The first letter of a symbol is always uppercase, it's a capital letter, and if there are two letters, the second letter is always lowercase. The first 20 elements and their symbols. Here you have them in all their glory. So we've got hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Okay, first 10. Then we get sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, and calcium. And you're probably sitting there thinking, how on earth am I going to remember this? I'm going to show you easy ways. So here we have the periodic table as you would see it in your textbook, and here you have the elements. So there's your hydrogen, there's your helium, your lithium, your beryllium, your boron, your carbon, your nitrogen, your oxygen, your fluorine, and your neon. So you get the idea. And you have to know the first 20 elements at a grade 7 level. And remember, these are building blocks for grade 8. So, how are you going to remember grade 7s? How can I make this easy for you? Enjoy this. My classes love playing the periodic table song. I often say to them, put it on your cell phones, have it as a ringtone. The more you play the song, the easier it becomes. I love saying to my children, even my own kids, if only they knew their work as well as they know the music they listen to. So this is a good way to learn grade 7s through music. Let's play this song for you.
Periodic table. There's hydrogen and helium, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere, nitrogen all through the air, with oxygen so you can breathe, and fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the signs, sodium for salty times, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, then sulfur, chlorine, and argon, potassium, and calcium so you'll grow strong.
Wow. Okay. One more time. Listen to it. It's amazing. You can download it off the internet. You just Google the first 20 elements of the periodic table song, and this will come up. One more time, grade 7s.
Periodic table. There's hydrogen and helium, then lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon everywhere, nitrogen all through the air, with oxygen so you can breathe, and fluorine for your pretty teeth, neon to light up the signs, sodium for salty times, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, then sulfur, chlorine, and argon, potassium, and calcium so you'll grow strong.
Wow, lovely, catchy song. Easy to learn the first 20 elements of the periodic table. Ooh, I need to go out of here again. You don't want to hear that again. Okay, now let's start with how do you read the periodic table? Okay, so the periodic table has an atomic number, a symbol, a name, and an atomic weight. So the atomic number we'll go into in a lot more detail, the symbol, the name, and then the atomic weight. Just remember the protons and the neutrons in the nucleus of the atom make up most of the atomic weight. So what is the atomic number? Right. So here we have the element carbon, and the atomic number is the number of protons found in the nucleus of an atom. Okay, so it tells you how many protons it has, or it can also tell you how many electrons it has surrounding the nucleus of an atom. So if it tells you it has 6 protons, you know that it also has 6 electrons. Okay, so that is the atomic number, and the periodic table is arranged in the order of the atomic numbers, in other words, how many protons and electrons the element has. So carbon has 6, so it is number 6 in the periodic table. What is the symbol? The symbol is the abbreviation of the element's name. So over here we've got C for the symbol for carbon. The name is carbon, but C is the symbol. It is the abbreviation of the element name. What is the atomic weight? The atomic weight, like we said right at the beginning, is the number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus of an atom, in the middle of the atom. Okay, and it's there on the bottom of the periodic table. It tells you exactly what the atomic weight is. So in other words, what is the mass of the protons and the neutrons combined? Okay, are you getting this? On the periodic table, we also have groups and periods. And how do we read the periodic table? So the chemical elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number. Just like I told you earlier, it starts with 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Carbon over there is number 6. That's its atomic number. It tells you how many protons and protons and electrons it has. Okay, even I'm getting flustered by all this information you need to take in. Okay, elements with similar properties are arranged in the same column, and the column is called a group. So this is your column on your table, just like a normal table. There's a column, there's a column, there's a column. Can you see all the columns? So it's group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, so on. Okay, and then all the elements with the same number of electron shells are arranged in the same row called a period. So there's period 1, there's period 2, there's period 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so our groups are our columns like this, and our periods are our rows going across in a horizontal row. Okay. So the periodic table is also divided into metals, non-metals, and what we call metalloids. Now your metals are in red, if you follow the key here. Your non-metals are in blue, and your metalloids are in yellow. Another word for metalloids is your semi-metals. They have the properties of both your metals and your non-metals. Okay, and now you're asking yourself, but why is hydrogen on this side of the table? And why is it showing blue as a non-metal? Because it is a non-metal, it's a gas. Okay, why is it over here? Think about it. What have I taught you already? What do you know? Okay, right? In its pure form on Earth, hydrogen is usually a gas. So it shouldn't be with the metals. It should be with the non-metals. Hydrogen is also one of the parts that make up a water molecule, H2O. 1 hydrogen molecule, 2 oxygen molecules. Hydrogen is important because it is the fuel that powers the sun and other stars. Hydrogen makes up about 74% of the entire universe. Still not answering, why is it there? It's placed over here in this group over here, in group 1, because it has 1 electron, 1 proton. So its atomic number is 1. And because elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number, it goes hydrogen is 1, helium is 2, lithium is 3, beryllium is 4, boron is 5, and, like I showed you earlier, carbon is 6. Okay. Now, to end off, after this crazy hectic content that you've had to take in a very short lesson of 20 minutes. Is it sitting at 20 minutes? Let me check. Yeah, 20 minutes, okay. You've learned a lot today, grade 7s. But like I said to you earlier, baby steps. Rome was not built in a day. Can you learn the periodic table in a day? Absolutely not. No one expects you to. We are all unique. We are all different. Some of you might have just got it. Some of you might be sitting there with big eyes and going, oh my word, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. That's okay. We all have different talents. Some of you might be incredible on the sports field. Some of you are a little bit stronger in academics and it comes easier to you. So take a deep breath, like I said earlier, pace yourself, pace your learning. You can always go back and watch the video again. Okay, so I only tell science jokes periodically. Funny. There's an hilarious element pun. It's the element of confusion. There you go. Those are all the elements that end in like potassium. Okay. It's just a quirky little joke. And then I would tell you a chemistry joke, but all the good ones are gone. Argon is number 18 in the periodic table, and it's an element called argon. You talk funny when you breathe helium. Helium is number 2 in the periodic table. Boys and girls, thank you for listening to me. I hope that I haven't confused you. I hope you've learned some new interesting facts. And tomorrow I will be doing lesson 2 of the periodic table. So, be kind to yourself, especially after this new content overkill of knowledge, and go and relax now, take some time out for yourself, and later on you can download the worksheets with the memos, which makes it even easier to learn and understand your work. And I shall see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day, grade 7.